Hi, this is Friday's live trading. We just starting. Sorry, it's Kim speaking. We're just looking and waiting to see if this this pound rolls over. It's just short of really where I want it to be. I wanted it to come back to this daily pivot. It's just a bit short, but it has got a bit overbought on the 3 time frames that we're looking at, which was nicely pointed out to me a moment ago. So I'm just being a bit patient here, waiting. It's 8:31 as I'm recording this first part here, but I can be patient and wait. We ended up waiting till yesterday afternoon for the trade yesterday, which it didn't matter. We had the ECB conference yesterday, which made me a little wary of some of the moves, but we eventually got in, and we traded the pound ironically when after the ECB, but it just gave had the better opportunity. Still quite bearish on the pound, looking at its potential just to keep on rolling downwards, but I'm just trying to sell it at the better prices. The probability of it coming back to a daily pivot is pretty good, so I'd really rather wait to sell into that sort of level. Could be looking at a break of this sort of lower trend line here just to be on the safe side, but that then gives so much up. So I'm really looking at a more aggressive sell point if I can, once if it hits its daily pivot. Okay, just sold the pound here at just looking at the position price. So just sold the pound here. Sorry, I'll pop it in. I've just put it on this room account, as I refer to it. So I put the position there. We're in at 128.38. A stop of 35, around about 35 there. So that's where we are at the moment. Looking to see if I can run this back to that 4-hourly 500 area. So we're really looking at 127.74. It's around about 70 pips. That's a bit less actually. Just a little bit later than I'd have liked. 63 pips. 64 pips. We'll call it 64 pips. So that's where we are. I shall leave that. It's got a wideish range in stop on the basis, and I could be aggressive if it starts moving down, but hasn't caught its daily pivot. I would have preferred it to have caught that daily pivot. I was waiting patiently here, just not really wanting to get back to it. It might still come up to that area, so actually I'm on the verge of 7.2. I may be just below that anyway, but at least it gives me some leg room from this these highs here. So short at the moment then. I shall leave that running. Okay, so just looking at its pound dollar, it's just giving me a lower high come through here, just chipping in. Just going to bring the stop down, just track it down just a tad there to about 128.65. So just reducing the risk slightly on this trade. If it was to bounce from here, well, it will probably go right the way through and onwards. So 28.65 for the stop now. So what we've seen here is the pound this morning has sold off quite strong. Everything else has been running quite nicely. The pound sold off. It has double bottomed here to a degree. It's certainly gone through those other bodies and having a bit of reaction. Also got a bit oversold on one of my indicators. I'm looking at this level here, bit of it could completely reverse. Everything else, Euro, Aussie, all pushing up. This has, as I say, double bottom, could completely reverse. May just protect a little bit here, and I'm easing the stop down. We're still even at bringing it down to sort of the 47 sort of mark. We're still 40 or 38 pips stop on it. So. It's giving it plenty of room, but it's just sort of protecting the risk effectively a little bit, but still giving it plenty of leg room. So that's what I'm doing here. So bring it down to 28.47. Okay, so I took my break earlier on, but good news is our target was hit. The target was actually it was just short of that 4-hourly 500. It's an interesting one actually. We're going to review it in a short while in a trading room, but Oh, sorry, I should show you the result, net result there. So this was today's trade there that we did in the room. Yeah, these were yesterday's. But yeah, so that was the position. This is only about 5k account, so it could only take 1.8 on that size to get the size right with the risk involved. In fact, I should just run back over showing you how that risk comes to be. But it just hit the target. That was all popped in there. The limit order just hit there. So simple as that. In terms of raising target, I'm sure Charlie will have shown this previously, but important in terms of position sizes. People get it right, make a right fuddle of it. I just use this little tool here. As I say, that account that I use for the trading room is only a 5k account, so it's I just pop that in there. Risk wise, looking at 1%, we had a 35 pip stop, so we pop that in there. It's the 10,000 units. We were trading the pound dollar, so you can put all this in there, and it gives you your position sizing, and it allows you to trade a little bit wider without worrying about the pips, because we do get a little bit pip focused, and I know a lot of people do it. So there you go, 1.8 was the size in lots. I didn't change the size of the position there. Try again. There you go, 1.8. So the risk was 50 quid on that position. I mean, we reduced that as we went through, so we reduced that risk, but it needed to be about 35. I just wanted it out of the way of the current position. So you go, that's just calculating it. So we risked 50, and as I said, we hit on, so we doubled our money basically on the trade there overall. So that's where we were, and that's what we've done so far. In a short while, I'll just look at the review together with our clients. Right, let's just run through the review of this trade then, and that we took this morning, and sort of coming down the time frames here. In fact, it's always good to have a little review after you've taken a trade. I say this so frequently. This morning then, let's take ourselves back a little bit. I'm just going to take this back to where we were sitting effectively. Looking at a 30-minute chart, I was actually personally looking for it to come back to that daily pivot. It would have been quite nice with a 30-minute 50. So looking for that retrace. Now, it was pointed out to me at that time, and I'm just going to put my little inflection indicator on here, that it was overbought. So this is the value of the room, and this is a great thing. Rain pointed out to me this morning, it's overbought, and he said it's overbought on the 30, which it was. If we come to the 15-minute time frame, it was showing the same. There we go, overbought signal, and also down on the 5 minutes. So we had like a triple over. It was overbought on all three time frames. There we go, overbought on that time frame as well. So we had 3 time frames of it giving us the overbought signal. As I say, it hadn't got to where I wanted it to go ideally. So okay, I'll put a big-ish stop on this just to give it a bit of a leg room. I may have just been chipped out, even if it hit that actually, but I was a fraction later into the trade than I may have wanted to be. But there we are. We had a 35 pip stop on it. Target wise, back then we had I was looking at the 4-hourly 500. Now that was we were just fractionally. I was looking for fractionally short of that. It's actually moved up a little bit now, but I was looking for the 27.74 area just to give it a couple of pips. It's the pound dollar after all. You want a bit of spread. It may hit it or get close to it and not hit your trade. And so that was it. We took the trade. It rallied a little while, pulled down here. When it got down to this level, in terms of managing the stop, it would just reading what it did here. It gave me a lower high, which I thought, well, may as well edge the stop down just a bit. As it pulled back a little bit and pulled into this point here, started rolling over. Looking at the price action, well, lower high again, stop down again to just fractionally above here. So we had about a 9 pip stop at that stage. and then eventually it just finished off. Did look at this stage that it might have had a bigger bounce, but the question then was, well, should we have looked for more out of this? Now, retrospectively, in this case, I can say no. But the thing is, a target is a target for me, and I only had the one target on this, and that's what we got there. So just the one target, all done. So there we go. That was the pound trade for today. Now, trading the rest of the day, I'm sort of looking at this market. I do give call Fridays, don't give it back Fridays, and for good reason. And personally, I'm looking at this market now. This got this gave me you see it got oversold here. Gave me a little trigger here. One of the questions I suppose you could have asked ourselves. 15 minutes was it as well? Yep, oversold signal coming through, and 30 minutes, which is my favourite time frame for the indicator. All three oversold again. Look, and probably some divergence if we look across there. Yep, some divergence across those. Could have taken the trade back, but I don't trade post 10 or take trades post 10 o'clock, but in that pocket normally between 10 and 11 o'clock. So for me, I stand it, and the signal coming in at that time, I don't particularly like. If it's not triggered by 10 o'clock, the probability just drops down a little bit more. So I tend to leave it. But on this particular occasion, well, yep, could have got a second trade out. So in my review of everything, absolutely ideal world, I would have been looking for switching back. Sometimes, I'm bearish on this pound overall. I was looking for shorts this morning on it. I'm sort of bearish on it. Do I want to be trading necessarily on the other side of the trade? So it was a question for you guys that are on the YouTube site watching this video. Would you have traded the other side of it, or do you just say, well, actually, fine, I've just made my money, I'll stop there? So there we go. That's Friday's live trading. I'm going to cut the video here and carry on talking in our trade room. Thank you for listening.